everything I knew and trusted felt like it had exploded.
Bringing you to November 2023.
Yeah.
How did everything then come to change overnight that day?
I didn't deserve for a lot of that to happen. I remember saying, I just want to disappear.
Well, just want to start off, Lily, by saying thank you so much for coming in today. So lovely to meet you.
You too.
And I wanted to start off by asking you, why now? Why come in and speak to me today?
Finally, I feel ready. It's obviously been a long time away. A difficult time, if I'm honest, but through that time, I've learned a lot, and I feel like I'm in a really, really good place now. I'm really ready to come back from a place of strength and hopefully as an even better person.
Fantastic. And so could you just take us back and sort of tell us, what did life look like for you 2 years ago, sort of 3 years ago?
Yeah. So 2 years ago, I was engaged. I was living with my fiancé. I'd say that's probably the biggest change. Professionally, things are quite similar, although there have been changes to get to that place. I'm the owner of 2 businesses, which come under Lean. So I have the Lean app and also my Lean nutrition company. And I'm also one of the biggest fitness YouTubers in the world.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And in terms of day-to-day life, where were you living? And you had a dog, I believe.
My little teddy bear. Yeah. So 2 years ago, I was living in Dubai with my fiance and my dog, Teddy. I still have Teddy, which is great. Wherever Teddy is home. But yeah, I was actually moving around a lot. The way that my businesses are structured mean that I'm traveling around a lot from a content creation point of view, but also my team. My team is spread all around the world. So typically I'd spend a lot of time at my base in Dubai, but then I'll also be in London, which is where all my family are and a lot of my team are, and Bali as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing. And how did you get into being a content creator? Sort of going a bit further back from that, obviously, into your fitness, physiotherapy.
Yeah.
Was being a content creator always the goal?
No, not at all. Not at all. So yeah, I graduated around 15 years ago as a physiotherapist. Always been incredibly into sport. It's like a real passion of mine. I absolutely love fitness, well-being, sport, but also helping people. That's kind of been the essence of why I became a physiotherapist. Content creation was very far from like my end goal, I would say. At the beginning, I actually worked in the NHS. So when I first graduated, my first job, I moved back to London and my first job was at Lewisham NHS Trust. I was living in North London with my mum at the time and travelling over 2 hours to get to Lewisham because I couldn't afford my own place closer to work. And that was kind of my day job. But in the weekends and the evenings, I was volunteering in football as well as a physiotherapist. I eventually started working my way up in the ranks of football and got to Watford Football Club.
And so sort of fast forward a little bit, I guess, then bringing you to November 2023.
Yeah.
How did everything then come to change overnight that day?
Yeah. So that again was obviously via social media. I actually woke up in the morning also to messages from people that I knew, but also some people that were kind of more acquaintances. It was very early in the morning. I was a bit shocked. I didn't know what had happened. And then I opened Instagram and there were thousands of messages there as well, with a link to a podcast. It was obviously very shocking. I had seen messages where like people were alluding that something had happened, but I had to kind of look into it myself. And effectively, the best way of describing it, everything I knew and trusted felt like it had exploded and it was completely out of my control.
Absolutely. Yeah. And did you then listen to that podcast episode?
Yeah.
And how did that make you feel?
I think I was in disbelief, actually, and it felt like I was in a reality TV show, but it was my own life and I had zero control over it, and I hadn't asked for this. It was like, why is this happening? This is my life. It's real. And it felt like, a show.
Mm-hmm. And did that feel for you as well, sort of a slightly different side to social media, obviously, that you'd known it for as well?
I think it was just so far from anything that was aligned to why I personally was on social media and professionally. It was another world that I'd never wanted to be part of. My mission and my purpose for the business, which is promoted via social media, is very much around helping people and very far away from that other side of social media. So I couldn't understand why my life had been drawn into this. That was how it felt. And that was why it was so shocking.
Mm-hmm. And that podcast specifically, have they taken any accountability for what happened or reached out or spoken to you since?
I haven't heard anything from them, no.
Mm-hmm.
I regularly check in hope.
Did you try and reach out to them at all?
No, I haven't. There's been no contact at all.
And what then led after that was you then taking 18 months away, kind of 2 years coming up to 2 years from social media.
Yeah.
Sort of from waking up that day in November to then making that decision to sort of stepping away from everything that you've ever known, your business, your everyday life.
Yeah.
How was that decision made and why?
Yeah. If I'm honest, it had to happen. Mentally, I wasn't in a place to show up for social media. And that then turned into physically as well. I became quite unwell. And with that, I needed to put my mental health first. And honestly, also my family. It wasn't just me who was impacted by this. My family are very much public sector workers. My brother's a teacher. It wasn't just me that got impacted by this shock and this like whirlwind of attention that wasn't asked for. So my primary focus was to protect myself and my family and then my business. The business is part of it is run on social media, but there's also another, I often say 25% of my business is content creation and social media. The other 75% is actually managing the business, looking at the future, looking at the strategy. And that part was still happening, but I wasn't physically showing up online in the same way. And I had to pivot and change the way that I was managing the business for my own mental health, but also to make sure it survived.
Mm-hmm. And that feeling, touching on mental health there, obviously your career on social media is based a lot on the way you look and how you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
And those events that happened in November, I can only imagine the sort of anxiety and insecurity that came from that.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've found really hard to deal with since?
Now things are great and that's why I'm here. If you'd asked me a year ago, I wouldn't say I'd be able to do this right now. And I had a very, very small network of people around me who saw it all and what I went through. Without those people, I certainly wouldn't be doing this right now. Things got really difficult and really dark at times. So back to your first question, why now? Why am I back? Actually, this is a big part of my new purpose. It's wellness, it's mental health, it's helping people, whether it's a mental health crisis, let's say, or it's anxiety, it's depression, it's overwhelmed. I want to be able to help people with the skills that I've learned and also do it through kindness.
And dealing with something like that so publicly.
Yeah.
How was that? Obviously, sort of from posting a lot of your personal life online, sort of did that come with then having to deal with such a public breakup, really?
Yeah. I remember saying, I just want to disappear. It's like you can't get away from it because it was just everywhere. And I just remember thinking, I really, really want someone to talk to who's been through something similar publicly. And I just had to get away from it all. And, you know, back to what you were saying around confidence, I literally couldn't look in a mirror for about 9 months afterwards because I was picking myself apart. I was like, why? It just didn't make any sense to me. And I think rebuilding myself from that to where we are now, it's taken a lot of work and it needed to be done privately.
And did you find that person that had been through something similar to speak to?
Not publicly, no. There were a lot of people professionally who I spoke to who really helped me, but I hadn't met anyone who had been through a similar, very public circumstance like that. Yeah.
How has that felt like now, sort of coming back and and I know sort of Max mentioned, but hopefully sort of relaunching or rebranding these bits in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
How's that making you feel? It's, you know, sort of a world away of what you've been doing in the last 18 months.
Yeah, for sure. I think all of that work, the healing journey it's the healing journey has taken me to where I am now. The time away is exactly what I needed. I am so happy that I didn't rush back. It would have been for all the wrong reasons. It's taken a long time to get to where I am and like authentically really grounded and happy, and now keeping the past in the past. I've let it go. I'm looking at the future. I have so much that I want to offer. Honestly, I'm in such a good place where I'm like, I am so ready to spread all of this to more people. And if we go back to why I started the YouTube channel, it was because I said I only have one pair of hands. I can only reach so many people in a day physically. How can we reach the masses? It's online, it's YouTube. And it has taken a long time to get here. And trust me, if you'd seen some of the last year and a half, even physically, as I said, I became quite unwell. I lost a lot of weight to where I am now. I look at myself and I feel really proud and really happy and actually confident from within. I know who I am. I know I'm a good person. I know I didn't deserve for a lot of that to happen. I've let it go. And now I've come back feeling like really driven and excited for the future, which is great.
Fantastic. You feel strong.
I do.
Mentally.
I do. I feel really good from that side of things. It's taken a long time to get here, but now I'm like, no, we have a purpose here and I'm excited about it.
And in terms of the team that you've built around you, obviously you said it's global.
Yeah.
And sort of what's at the core of Lean and who you hire on the team and what the goals are for Lean.
Yeah. So things changed over the last year. My team became a lot smaller. They had to. It had to, I should say, because financially things changed. But now we're in a good position. My team are incredible. Yeah.
Do you think that there needs to be some sort of thought process into these types of kind of podcasts and media platforms when it comes to sort of respecting those that they're talking about?
Yeah. There is a space for everyone and everything online. I think the shock was where I was pulled into someone else's lane without expecting it to happen and certainly not wanting it to happen. I don't see it changing, if I'm honest. I think there will always be different sides and aspects of social media, but for me, I just want to concentrate on my lane and my background. I'm a physiotherapist. I'm actually more of a medical background, and that's the lane that I want to stick in. And from that point of view, I'll always do my research for my lane. But I don't think I'll be able to ever change what other people are doing. It's their thing, and I would never pull someone into my lane if they don't want to be there. And I would hope that other people would respect the same.
And so does the next 5 years, obviously we've just said podcast.
Yeah.
What else does that look like? More in-person events? Like you just said?
100% would love that. I have a few very kind of core goals. The first one is what we were saying, which is making Lean more of a wellness brand as well as fitness. So 100% leaning into mental health. showing more of my journey with my mental health and helping other people with the tips and tricks. And actually, we're bringing out a program really soon where we have other professionals who've come on board to help. A book is 100% a goal. I know, I love the 100%. It always has been, and I really, really hope that that will come pretty soon. I just have so much to share in it. Actually, especially with what's happened, it has made me a stronger person. It's made me a better person. I do not wish it on anyone. But now that I've got through the healing, I just feel like I have so much to share and to give. That's it. I have so much to give from that point of view.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And what about personal life goals, I guess, in the next 5 years?
I know. All the stuff that you would expect in the fairy tale books. I still believe it can happen. I have obviously been scarred, if I'm completely honest, but I feel really, really excited now about my future. I definitely do have a focus on my personal life as well as my professional life. When I look at core people around me and how happy they are in their personal relationships, I do believe that it is out there, and I believe that it's achievable, and it's certainly something that I really want for myself. I won't be sharing any of it on social media, which is something I'm very, very sure on now, but it doesn't mean that I am not excited to basically have a very, very happy personal life as well. I don't feel passionate about showing my personal life. I'm online for the complete opposite to that, which is providing services, helping people, yes, showing my personality and my kind of personal purpose through workouts and the other stuff we're going to be bringing. But I don't believe I need to show my relationships to connect with people.
And keeping that a side of yourself back for another person and for other people.
Yeah, 100%. Like, a lot of my best friends don't even have social media. As an example, Instagram, I don't ever open it on my phone. Apart from when I'm going on there for work, it's not something that, it can become very habitual where you're going on. Having that time away, I'm so much more present in real life. I'm more connected to people. I'm happier. I have a really good relationship with social media now. It's not that I'm not on it. I just have a much healthier relationship with social media. And I think that's because I'm keeping my personal life and personal relationships very separate.
And do you think there'll be that pressure from fans and followers to share that side and sort of, whether it's DMs asking you, who are you dating, or comments or whatever, because people get so invested in an individual.
I get that.
Do you think there'll be that pressure too?
I think there's two sides to it. Over the last couple of years where I haven't been as present from that side of things, the business is still there. So that's taught me I don't need to show all of that side to have a successful business, which has been honestly one of the biggest reliefs, where I'm like, wow, we've built something really solid here. There's then the other side, which is the connection, which I know how important it is to connect with my community. I don't believe I need to be showing my personal life in terms of who I'm dating, my husband, whatever it is, to have that connection with people. I really don't. I'm still seeing the DMs. I'm still communicating with my audience on DM. It's just a shift away from knowing about my personal relationships, but they still know me. What happened affected my family. I said it before. It should have never happened. And now I am going to protect them and myself more.
In what ways did it affect your family?
Millions of people saw what had happened or found out what had happened in my personal life before I did. That meant that of those millions of people, they spoke to my family members about it. It's humiliating. I deserved the right to find out personally and then tell my family. So yeah, I am going to protect them more and myself as well. And I still feel I can make an incredible impact and help people without showing that side of my life.
And in the last year, it's kind of a big question, but what's the biggest life lesson that you've learned and that you're going to take forward over the next couple of years?
Oh, that is hard.
You obviously said about not sharing so much on social media, perhaps, but...
Actually, I would say mental health and the importance of looking after it and looking after other people's.
Sort of prioritizing it.
Prioritizing your mental health and also checking in with other people. I don't think, you can't see when someone's going through something until it maybe hits them physically as well. For me, it hit me physically as well. I was very evidently unwell in the way my body looked and the way I was not functioning. And that has given me so much awareness around other people's mental health, checking in with them, making sure that we're prioritizing it from a work standpoint. That's something I check in with my team in all the time. We need to prioritize health as a 360 approach and wellness rather than just the physical aspect of it, making sure that people have tools and help to check in with how they're feeling.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Lilly. I really appreciate your time. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about? Is there anything else you'd like to
I think we covered everything. Thank you. You were so kind and good.
Okay. Thank you so much. Amazing. I really appreciate it. And I'm so sorry that you went through everything that you did, but it's inspiring to see that
we're back.
She's back. She's come out the other side and better and stronger and 100%. Healthier for it. 100%. And I appreciate it probably didn't feel like that a year ago, but it's really great to see it now.
Yeah. It's all been around timing and taking it slow and learning along the way. If I'd rushed back, we would not be having a conversation like this now.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yay. Thanks, guys. Woohoo.